AMC is currently in the process of setting up a pretty nice pop to the upside. Let's go ahead and validate what could be happening for the following sessions. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with an AMC technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis on this happy Friday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right in. All right, guys. So, just one thing real quick. I want to actually talk to you guys about the ArcMastersCourse because there has been an immense amount of demand for it. As you already know, I already sold out the first track. The first 30 seats, right? So based on this huge demand, I am starting a second track to potentially start in the second or third week of April for another 30 seats, okay? So go ahead and refer to the link in the description below where you'll find the ArcMastersCourse@gmail.com email where you can actually reserve your seat now, all right? So I actually announced it yesterday in my live stream and already 3 seats are taken. All right, so go ahead and reach out to me and we'll get you enrolled and situated for that session, right? You guys coming up in April. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive in to the charts here, you guys. This is AMC on the daily, and you can see we're still riding that bottom side support from that gap that we actually saw in January 2023, right? So we're still riding that support. Of course, it has a lot of confluence with the 4-spot 618 at 409. We had a low of about 406 right over here, and we're still chopping around in this area, okay, which also just happens to be the bottom side of this macro ascending channel, okay? So this is what I mean. Let me just go ahead and block the visibility. There's the price action, and here we are. Okay, so we're in the process of still validating the support before an upside continuation. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and move on to the next chart, as I do have some very, very interesting things to show you here. Okay, first of all, please notice that volatility represented by this indicator, BBWP, is approaching critical again. Okay, so this is on the daily chart, and please notice that we are critically oversold in the stochastic momentum, okay? So the last time we were looking at this for a move to the upside was actually right about here, okay? So we actually did catch that bottom, very similar to where we are right now, and then we got that upside pump. This iteration actually moved about 48 spot 91% to the upside, okay? And it actually... yeah, it actually played out very nicely. It was a span of about 10 days for this move here to play out. I have taken a back test of that criteria throughout the entire trading history of the AMC asset on the daily time frame. Okay, so as you can see here, these are all of my notes, and this is essentially the back test that I did for us by hand. All right, you guys, so what I am noticing here is that the setup is starting to set the stage yet again. Okay, so out of a total 48 iterations, you know, from the critical expansion zone to a contraction drop, and stochastic momentum pivoted towards the upside, we have seen a total of 48, of which 27 were guessed correctly to the upside, giving us an averaged upside accuracy of about 56.25% with an averaged upside thrust of about 44.69%. Okay, you guys, so this is very important because we are in the precipice of getting this. Literally, the stage is about to be set yet again for a bounce, which is very interesting because we're at a critical support right now. Okay, so if we were to measure a 44.69% move to the upside, let's just say that we were actually to do it from the current low, right? So at about 406, because we still have a little bit of downside to go, a tiny bit, and we still have to make sure that the volatility reaches critical volatility. Okay, so let's just go ahead and apply that here into the metrics. Okay, so let's just go ahead and take about okay, that I guess that's close enough-ish, right? So yeah, go ahead and notice here that it'll take us around $5 and around 89 cents, $5.90, right around there. Okay, so which is already very curious because it's just under the 3-spot 272 and upside of the 2-spot 618 golden mean. Okay, so that's already looking very good. All right, so now I want to show you something here that actually does show a lot of confluence. Okay, so what I'm about to show you is actually, or could be, 2 of the most important indicators in my life, actually, and I actually developed them, and now they're in their completion or very close to it. Okay, so I'm going to introduce to you now what is called the first one is actually called the ARC reversion variant. Okay, so this is actually a very important indicator considering volatility. So anytime that we have expanded into critical expansion and start the contraction phase, that usually means that we're coming back or mean reverting. Okay, so we would be reverting to the mean or the fair valuation price at the current time frame. It doesn't mean it's a fair valuation of the entire company, it's just a time frame. Okay, so as we're approaching this area here, we would actually see a contraction phase and starting to mean revert because we're so critically oversold down here. So we would actually start a pump to the upside. Okay, which is AKA the 44.69% move to the upside. Please notice that this is the mean band. Okay, this is essentially what's giving us the mean. Okay, based on the current price action and based on the time frame that we currently are or we're currently in, we use volatility as a band. And we usually bounce from the volatility band to the upside, and we usually sell at the top side of that band and come back down to the mean and then bounce from it and do the whole thing over again. Usually this is how it goes, right? So go ahead and notice that, yes, we are right at the bottom side of the band. And please notice that the mean is taking us where? To $5.82, of which the statistical backtest is taking us to $5.86 right here. Very curious times over here, since our mean reversion is actually, it would essentially be back to the mean, which is right at the statistical backtest. Okay, so this is already very curious. And notice here that we got our first long signal. Okay, this was just yesterday. So this is very curious. Okay, very cool. All right, so now the next thing that we can actually look at as the second most important indicator to my life, the one that I just finished developing, of course, is about 95%, 98%, but I want to just touch on this indicator no matter what. Okay, so this is actually an active support and resistance inflection point locator. Okay, so why this is very curious right now is that if we just take a look really closely, notice that the weekly resistance is taking us to $6.08, which is very close to the 586 or 588 or whatever that value is on the reversion, as well as the statistical backtest. Okay, so that now gives us a resistance range. Okay, so this is absolutely where we're looking at for the next week. All right. So I know it just sounds as easy as that, right? But no, of course, guys, it has the chances of hitting, of course, are 56.25%. Okay, so it's just everything is rhyming within this target here, okay, which would mean that we would essentially reclaim the inside of the channel and then continue on to the upside. So this is a very bullish statement. The weekly resistance from the ARC substance indicator is actually right upside of the 3.272 and right under the 3.618 golden mean. Okay, looking very good for AMC. That's what I mean, that it's setting the stage, guys. I think there's an opportunity coming in here. Of course, we can still drop just a little bit and then continue on, right? What I mean by drop a little bit is actually that we can use, yet again, I expressed to you guys the dangers of us being in the 2.618 in general, right? So yes, we could actually still drop yet again to face the support from the band down here at about $4 and then see a continuation to the upside, okay? But we're at a critical support right now, and we are definitely suggesting an upside continuation here, and it would essentially mean revert. Okay, 581 to about maybe 608 is kind of what we're looking at. Okay, so I'm definitely a fan of what's happening here for the AMC asset. Let's take a look at the immediate short-term time frame RSI before we call it a night and get some rest, right? So consolidation on the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame. The 4-hour is actually suggesting an upside already. So this is very good because it will actually pressure the daily volatility versus momentum into that stage that we want it to be set at, right? So now the 8-hour time frame is suggesting a little bit of consolidation here. Yes, it is downward, it is downside pivoted, right? Because this is why we're talking about a potential drop to $4 before a continuation onto the upside. Notice that the RSI signal is right within that the gravitational zone of the oversold percentile. Okay, so this is good. that usually means that we can be pushed up to the upside, and then we can actually come back down. So this is essentially telling us that we're still chopping around that $4 area to about $4.10 or 12 cents, right around there. Okay, so now looking at the daily time frame, we still have a downside suggestion here, which is absolutely what we want to make sure that we can set that condition or the criteria for the statistical upside move and the mean reversion. Okay, and also the meeting of the weekly resistance from the other indicator, right? So I'm talking about this one right here. So the ARC substance indicator showing us the weekly resistance right at about that 608 level. This is what I mean. Okay, sorry, losing my breath there for a little bit. And yeah, so the 3-day time frame losing a little bit of that bear strength, starting to consolidate a little bit. 14-day simple moving average suggesting that same thing, and 5-day still suggesting consolidation as well. Okay, so what this is, sorry, let's see the 5-day. Here we go, consolidation on the 5-day. So what this is telling me, the higher term time frames are definitely waiting for the influence from the shorter time frames. So upon meeting the condition of that daily setup, we can absolutely make that push to the upside. And in that event, yes, the 5-day and the 3-day momentum oscillators, or the RSIs, will essentially start to correct and pivot towards the upside, which would be overall bullish for the ticker symbol AMC. Please remember to use the email below, ArcMasters Trading Course, so you can sign up and reserve your seat and get enrolled for the April session. And also remember, you guys, that the links in the description below is where you'll find the ARCa Bulls Trading Community Discord channel, or the server, sorry, and also the Twitter. Okay, you guys, so that is going to do it for the video tonight. I wish you well, a very good night and a great weekend, and I will catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios.